And how do you think about Mosul Dam?
Well, Mosul Dam, everybody knows the name by now after what has been published and said over the media. My role in that dam started in 1978 with the beginning of the investigation works and then the design and the planning of the dam. And at that time I was working as a chief engineer in the minister's office, in direct contact with the minister, who entrusted me to organize an international board of experts to oversee over the design and the construction. So I've worked with that board, which had some international engineering figures specialized in dams, such as, I remember the names, Pierre Lond, who was a president of High Court, and Christian Groner, who was also a previous member of High Court, or chief president of High Court, and an American famous engineer, Franklin Rogers, and others, of course. So I had the chance through the years of construction to follow every detail of that dam, and we had a lot of meetings, discussions with the consultants and with the contractors, trying to solve field problems and all that. And we compiled a lot of literature on that, about more than 30 reports. And that is very rich material on the stages of construction. Anyhow, I can say that problems we started to experience in the construction at the beginning of the impounding of the reservoir. That was about the beginning of 1986, where we experienced seepages in the dam body and flanks. And then we discovered there was a lot of dissolution in the foundation. The curtain wasn't being completed properly. There was much difficulties. A lot of techniques and materials and all that were used, but it was not useful. In the end, everybody decided that nothing can be done except to maintain this curtain year after year, to consider this as a permanent solution, to do grouting for the following years. And that was what was done actually, grouting over the past almost more than 30 years. Up to 2014, the quantity of grouting materials that was pumped was more than 100,000 tons of solid materials. But the minute you stop grouting, then the solution starts, and then everybody is not happy. As everybody knows, the beginning or the middle of 2014, ISIS took over the site for a few days, but they have taken control of the area close by, so the staff who were doing the job of grouting left the site, and the grouting work stopped up to well into year 2015. Of course, the United States Corps of Engineers had to go and check the situation after this stoppage of grouting, and their measurements and their studies, of course, they were they had formed an interagency team from many other agencies in the United States who are specialized in this work. They found that the dam was in a very bad situation and in dangerous situation. In fact, on a chart which they have showed, compared to other dams under their control, this US Bureau of Corps of Engineers, it was at the top of the chart. I mean, it is the most dangerous dam they had experience with. And of course, there was a lot of pressure from the United States government, from the Iraqi government to find or to do a final solution. And then the end was to have some maintenance work. So the US Corps of Engineers got Trevi company from Italy to do the job, and the money was financed, or the cost was financed by the World Bank, of course, with the help of the United States government. My feeling and my idea is that work is also temporary. Trevi has been doing this grouting work just the same as it was done before. I mean, as far as grouting is concerned, maybe they are using better techniques to detect cavities and all that, but the end of it, after they stop, after they finish their job in a few months, maybe 3, 4, 5 months, and then with the operation of the dam, continued operation of the dam, the curtain will again deteriorate as it deteriorated before, because you see, this is related to particular layers of gypsum breccia in the foundation. This gypsum breccia, due to its structure, is very difficult to be grouted, but okay, once it takes the grout, then it's not permanent. It will dissolve after a while, and openings will open up again, and the whole dissolution process continues. So by that, this is not a final solution. Of course, I've been working in a team with Luleå University, and we have written so far about 14 or 15 papers on this geotechniques, the technical problem, I mean, and we have proposed solutions and all that. And of course, last March, the Ministry of Water Resources in Iraq also held, before that I must say, in March last year, in March 2016, this Luleå University team organized workshop in Stockholm on the 22nd till 24th of May. We invited the top world experts on dams, and a lot of engineers and expertise and people who have good experience on dams, and we put this to discussion, and we came up with very good recommendations, and we tried to send these to the government of Iraq to work on a permanent solution, rather than on a temporary solution, that what is being done now by Trevi. Of course, we appreciate that the situation with the government now is very difficult due to the fact that it's busy fighting terrorism, ISIS and so forth. Budget is not good, and they don't have the money, especially after the low prices of oil. But we don't have any answer about the future vision of the government for this permanent solution. We anticipated that such solution could take one of two alternatives, but these two alternatives must be studied deeply and from all aspects, geotechnical aspects, environmental aspects, and cost-wise, and select the best, the better one. The first alternative is to have a diaphragm, a Mosul dam, which should go deep enough and long enough on both sides to prevent this dissolution problem, of course we would need first to do a lot of investigations, deep investigations, and even, well, you see, I have my doubts about the solution. I mean, we have to have better technical insight. First, there has never been machines produced so far which has gone so deep in the foundation. We need about 240 meters. Then we have to have this machine working on top of the dam. I can't see how safe it is, especially with the dam not fully drawn down. There are dangers of stability. We are working in the heart of the dam, drilling, and then the foundation, karstic foundation, full of cavities. There are danger of losing the excavation fluid, and once that happens, then the trench will collapse, and God knows what will happen afterwards. Losing the machinery and the stability of the dam will be affected. So maybe we have to do grouting, pre-grouting before the diaphragm building. So what have we done now? Now we couldn't do the grouting successfully in the first place. Now we have to do pre-grouting, and then we have to do excavation in such a tricky condition. So I have my doubts on this. The other solution would be to build actually to finish the Badush Dam, which we started about how many years? We started in 1988. I was the project manager at that time, and we constructed about 40%, 30% of the work. Then it stopped because of the war, the first Gulf War, and it was never restarted again due to the different situation, security and money-wise and all that. We can complete that dam, but also after all the discoveries now during these few years, I feel also that the design must be modified and to go and also build a diaphragm with that dam, and should be very deep, because now the last findings we found after thorough studies that the geology would be the same, but at deeper elevations, which we didn't discover the previous time. So a diaphragm will be needed, a modification of the design will be needed, and then it should go ahead. So the risks of collapsing of Mosul Dam are huge, tremendous. The dam is like a volcano ready to to explode. Nobody can tell when such a thing could happen. Nobody have the three-dimensional vision inside, so deep in the foundation, to see the mechanism, exactly what's happening, how close, how big, how it's progressing. But definitely, and this was established by a report done by the United States Army Corps of Engineers Research Engineers Center. This report was published in 2006, and it states that the dissolution continues and the quality of the foundation rock is diminishing. The strength is it's weakened because of the grouting and regrouting. Once you grout, then you are actually replacing the old, the original dissolved material by a weaker material, which is the softer material, which is the grout. And year after year, it's become weaker and weaker, and the dissolution front is progressing even deeper and to the east. So that's what they say. So the whole situation, the future development are not so bright, and this risk is increasing. Last study done by a research center in the European Commission in Brussels gives tremendous insight in the volume of the catastrophe that could happen. It estimates from data that they have acquired through various agencies and satellites and all that, that the dam could endanger more than 6 million people if it fails. And the area which will be covered by water will go up to 7,600 something square kilometers. Of course, everybody knew that before that such wave will be destructive. It will erode Mosul city, especially the left side, completely, and most of the right side, the south. The wave will pass by Baghdad and even more down. The city of Baghdad will be covered by mud, sludge, and for about 2 meters for the whole city. And that stagnant water will stay maybe 2, 3, 4 months because the area is very flat and the drainage is very slow. It will be very good ground for mosquitoes, for cholera, for things like that. Because imagine all the sewers will be mixed, all the dustbins, all the garbage dumps will be filling the place, maybe a lot of corpses of dead people or dead animals stinking and all that. I know that the United Nations is very much worried about the situation, especially their office in Baghdad. And they have done also some studies, and I think they have had discussions. I'm not sure, but I think they have had some discussions with the government. But my sincere hope is that the government, the Ministry of Water Resources, should work towards the finalization of this problem by finding a permanent solution, by asking the world for help. My vision is that an international fund should be established. That is something like to save Iraq from Mosul Dam's possible failure. This should be financed by all the governments who have interest in this, who would like to help. And this should be also, work should be done under an umbrella of some world organization which would help the government and the ministry. And well, this is a summary of what I have to say here, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say it. I assure you that myself and my colleagues in this team in Lulu University are willing to do more work on this, and as long as we can, because that helps. After all, it is our country, and even the others who are not Iraqis in the team have this feeling and insight what to do. And as a team, we would like to cooperate on any solution of that sort. Thank you.
Thank you very much.